YouTube Live. We're going for a tour of this apartment, Unit 303 East 33rd Street, Apartment 3G, right here in the heart of Manhattan. So I'm going to go ahead and do a tour. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to also, at the end of the tour, answer your most frequently asked questions about what it's like to live in New York City and what it's like to own a home in New York City. So let's begin the tour. So here I'm currently standing in the living room of this apartment. Now this apartment is located in the heart of Manhattan on 33rd Street and 2nd Ave in Kips Bay, which is a central Manhattan location in New York City. This apartment is over 1,100 square feet facing south. You have lots of natural sunlight, but unfortunately today, if you were to look online, we had a snowstorm yesterday, and so it was really, you can actually see the snow on the ground still. If I go up to the window, you can still see the snow sitting outside, and we are in currently, there is a rain hitting the city, so you can see it in the window right now. But let's just take a look at the apartment itself. So here you are in the living room space. This owner installed amazing built-ins throughout to really maximize the space and really allow you to put a lot of things away without circumventing the usable space of the apartment. As you know, in New York City, square footage is very expensive, and so to be able to utilize the space effectively and give you a lot of usable space is really important. So here are the built-ins. You have these bamboo floors, which are a feature of the eco-friendly feature of this building. This is a LEED certified building in New York City. What that means is that it's an eco-friendly certified building. And so every apartment has sustainable and recyclable materials. So here in the kitchen, you'll notice these glass countertops, bamboo walls over here. You even have this waterfall of glass. And then here you have this open kitchen. Now, overlooking from the kitchen into the living room, you'll notice it is quite a spacious area. And also in the kitchen, you have beautiful fixtures and finishes throughout, including a 4-gas burner by Bosch, a convection oven with this beautiful electric system. You have an undermount exhaust fan that recirculates into the apartment. And then you have a nice, comfortable sized refrigerator with freezer and ice maker built in. Now, one of the nice features about this apartment is that the owner uses the apartment as a second home, which means they don't live here full time. And that means that even though this building is 15 years old, this apartment is in mint condition. You can look at how well maintained the countertop is. There are no scratches. It's like in perfect condition. And you'll notice that all the appliances also, like take a look at this. Look at the finishes. This is in really good condition given it's 15 years old. So this apartment is in mint condition and one of the nicer ones that has really kept up its quality in the building. Here now you have this huge pantry with a microwave inside. And because it's inside, when you close up the pantry, you have this nice clean look on the exterior as well. So walking into the apartment now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the rest of the apartment. Now, if I did not mention to you, this apartment is all south facing. In New York City, you want to have an apartment that's south facing so you get the maximum amount of natural sunlight into the unit. In New York City, most apartments are facing other buildings, so you don't really get a lot of natural sunlight. In fact, you're just staring at other neighbors for the most part. Here, you do have a nice setback from the other apartment, so you do get a nice amount of natural sunlight. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about New York City trends and what it's like to buy in New York City in a little bit when I'm done with the tour. Here at the entrance, this is the entrance to the apartment. You have a entry closet. Now this entry closet is a little different because you have a step-in. Most closets are going to be right flush up against the door. Here you have a step-in so you can have extra storage as well. So this owner, as I mentioned to you, did do a lot of built-ins throughout. He also did a very smart thing with the laundry room. So this is your standard washer dryer, but no, there are actually some amazing upgrades that you may not really know. And this was actually the first one I've ever seen of this style. Underneath, they put wheels So you can easily take out this washer dryer if you have to do any maintenance in the background. In addition, this owner put several smart devices over here, including a camera, a water auto shut-off valve. So in case there is ever a leak, he's notified immediately because, as I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video, this owner uses this home as a second home. So they're not typically here. So when they're out, when they're at their normal place of residence, in the event something happens, they get triggered, notified of a water leak. It automatically will shut off the water valve, and he can take a look from the camera to notify him of anything that happens. And if anything does happen, he can just slide out the laundry room, add the washer dryer for easy access in the back. So this is actually really brilliant, and I've only seen it in this apartment in the 15 years I've been doing real estate in New York City. So now walking through the apartment, this is the primary bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, but we'll see that in a second. First, let's start with the second bedroom. Here you'll see more built-ins throughout. Again, like I said, it's great for maximizing storage space throughout. You have a queen-size bed with some more built-in shelving systems throughout. But just look how comfortable it is to walk around here. And yet you can really maximize the space and put all kinds of stuff. He has a desk. There's a flat screen TV on the wall. There's overhead storage spaces throughout. And there is a normal size closet in the back over there. And here again is the view, if I didn't mention to you. So we're currently looking at 33rd Street in Manhattan. This is a quiet street, even though it's a two-way street. Now, don't be misled. If you're watching from anywhere outside of New York City, Manhattan is a busy area. Midtown is a busy area. But this 33rd Street is a special street because it ends at the end of the block is the end of Manhattan, the end of all the streets. So there's not a lot of traffic coming up and down the street at all. If you go one block behind me on 34th Street, that is when it gets really busy. But this is a special street, my friends, because it's quiet, there's not a lot of people, and you're right in the middle of the bustling action of New York City. So let's go ahead and take a look at the apartment as we continue this tour. So adjacent from the second bedroom is the second bathroom. Now, this is a beautiful bathroom. If I mentioned to you earlier, these owners use this home as a second home, so they didn't really use it full time. So just take a look at how beautiful these floors are. They're in original condition. You still have the sparkle from the floor, from the marble. Even look at this countertop over here. This is perfect condition for a 15-year-old apartment. So this apartment is in mint condition. So in this space, you have marble floors. You have recycled glass backsplash here in the bathroom tub area because, as I mentioned to you, this is an eco-friendly building. You have a deep soaking tub with beautiful fixtures and finishes throughout and a rain shower. Over here, here is the vanity. It's a floating vanity with custom built-ins, bamboo exterior. And then check out this mirror, guys. This mirror goes all the way to the ceiling, and when you open it, you get all of this storage all the way to the ceiling. So this is a really unique feature for New York City when most bathrooms are really tiny and you barely even have a mirror. And this one actually opens up all the way and has this recessed lighting effects on both sides as well. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next room, which is the primary bedroom. So this is really a big space. This one has a king-size bed. You have all these built-ins, as I mentioned to you before. You have these undermount lighting feature throughout the built-ins. You have another desk over here. And look at how much space I have to walk around. This is really comfortable to live in. I mean, you can live here for many, many years in the heart of Manhattan and still feel really comfortable. And then looking on the other side is the ensuite bathroom, which is really a well-appointed bathroom as well. But before we do that, let's take a look at this walk-in closet. This is a big closet for New York City standards. This, for New York City, could be its own home office. Hell, it could even be an apartment of its own. So it is a spacious apartment. So here we are in the primary bathroom. Now you have marble floors. Look how beautifully finished these white curate marble walls are. And then here you have a floating vanity with double sink. There is storage underneath with 2 doors that pull out with soft closing feature. Just listen to it. Quiet. And then you got 3 mirrors. 1, 2, 3. What's nice about these mirrors, first of all, they have storage behind, right? But if you need to look at yourself on 3 corners, you can actually pop out these mirrors side by side, and you get a 180-degree view of yourself if you need to maintain yourself. So this is quite a smart design for this bathroom. All right, so let's look at the rest of this bathroom. So in this bathroom, as opposed to the second bathroom, this one has a stall shower. So here you have the stall shower with a recycled glass backsplash. We have the same fixtures with the rain shower. And then you have the toilet as well. And this again is a nice, comfortable space to use. So if you guys have been waiting, thank you for waiting. So I'm gonna actually now talk to you about the most frequently asked questions that I get about the state of the market in New York City and what it's like to live in a condo apartment like this. So just give me a second as I prop my little system over here so I can make sure that I look nice and pretty for you. Oops. And let's get started. So thank you for hanging out. If you have any questions, do add it in the chat so that I can review it as well. So these are the most asked questions that I get. What are some unique perks of living in a New York City condo compared to other housing options? Very good question. So living in a condo, the really most important feature is that you don't have to have permission if you wanted to sell or rent your apartment. You can do it freely without having to ask. I mean, you have to still submit a board package, but unlike a co-op requires a board interview. There is a chance that you may not get approved. Imagine if you have some tiff with a board member and you want to sell your home and you put it on the market, you spend months and months trying to get a buyer that even qualifies. Then you go ahead and submit the board package. The co-op board then receives the package and it's like, oh, you know what? I'm not having a good day. I'm just gonna deny the package. And then you're back to square one, having to start the process all over again. That's not what it's like in a condo, which is where I am right now. In this building, 303 East 33rd Street, this is a condo. So you can rent as you want and you can sell as you want. So there are no restrictions like that. Of course, you have to submit a board package, but it's more a formality. And this is the key feature of living in a condo as opposed to living in other types of home ownership in New York City. All right, so let's ask the next question. How does condo living enhance the day-to-day experience in New York City? Well, this is a multi-layered question. So the truth is that there are different types of condos. In New York City, the majority of home ownership, 70% of homes that are available for sale are co-ops. So in fact, when you're looking at the skyline of New York, most homes are not condos. Condos, in fact, are a newer concept. It started in the 1980s. And so there aren't as many condos in this local market. So because condos are currently the more favorable type of home ownership, although they're more popular now, they're just not as available. So if you look at the skyline, they're all mostly co-ops, and you have just a few number of condo units to choose from. So the nice feature about condos is they usually I'm not counting Brooklyn because Brooklyn has smaller buildings, like three-story buildings. But in Manhattan, a condo typically has nicer finishes, they're newer buildings, they may have doorman access, they have amenities like a gym, pool, a rooftop. So it's just a nicer, more modern way of living. And they generally, because they make fewer units in general compared to co-ops, that they tend to appreciate better than a condo. So I highly recommend looking at condos if you want a elevated lifestyle. All right, number 3 question. Which building amenities typically has the biggest impact on the quality of life? Well, guys, in New York City, laundry rooms are highly not present in homes. Did you know that only 10% of homes in New York City has a washer and a dryer inside the unit? Most homes do not have a laundry room. So you have to take your clothes every day or every week, and you have to leave your apartment and your building, and you have to go and find a laundromat. And if you're lucky, there's a laundry room in the basement where you can take your clothes to. But in condos, only 10% has in-unit washer dryers, a laundry room, and that's why they are more favorable. So if you want to have a elevated experience day to day, you want that laundry room in the apartment. All right, so next question. How do on-site services contribute to making a condo a comfortable home? So there is a building on 38th Street called the Corinthian. And this building has a laundry services center in the building. So you can take your laundry there and they'll do dry cleaning. If you want to have your dog walk, they'll take your dog and walk it. If you want to have maid service, they'll send people up to your apartment. They have on-site parking. They have a quarter-mile running track around the building, so you don't even have to leave the building. They have an indoor pool. They have everything. So having all those amenities, if you feel a little bit removed from being in the center of the city, by having those amenities in the building, you don't feel that so isolated, and you can just go freely enjoy using the building, even if your apartment is 500 square feet, which is like a closet. Having those amenities will really help to enhance your quality of life if you're living in the city. Next question. What should buyers keep in mind regarding ongoing costs like maintenance fees in New York City condos? Very good question. If you're looking to buy in New York City and you are looking at a building, let's say this building, 303 East 33rd Street, which I'm standing in right now, you want to look at the maintenance and you want to look at the history of the monthly maintenance costs. Can you do that? You can reach the management company of the building and ask to show you the history of the monthly payments being made in the building. And you can see it going up or down over the last few years to see how well it's doing. You really want to try to look at it from $1 per square foot. So if the maintenance is $1,000 a month and your square footage is 1,000 square feet, then it's really $1 per square foot. And so when you have that number, you use that to compare it with other buildings and other buildings with different amenities to see, does the other building have $1.50 or $2 square foot? Then you know if you're getting more value or less value. And that's how you should look at before buying a place, if the building is being run effectively and efficiently before you actually decide to move forward on the unit. All right, next question. What unexpected benefits might condo living offer that aren't immediately obvious? Well, like I said, in a condo, you typically have the doorman, you have nicer finishes, you have amenities in the building. Your quality of life will be better than a small walk-up building. In fact, today I showed another apartment down the street, and as I was showing it, the person was like, "Oh, is there a rat problem in this building?" It was another condo building. The apartment was on the 22nd floor of the building, and imagine if rats were able to go up 22 flights. That would be terrible. But the truth is that if you are in a building that is newer, that doesn't have any food or restaurant at the base, that has a full staff, doorman, live-in super, handyman, porter on site, they will remediate and reduce those issues so that you have a better quality of life. So that's what you want to look for when you're picking a building to work or live in. Next question. What trends are currently shaping the New York City condo luxury market in 2025? Well, this is a big question, guys, and I get asked this very often. The truth is that we live in such crazy times. Every single day, there is something new happening, whether it's on the macro level in federal government, if it's international. You have to remember, we live in a international city. New York City is an international city. So we get affected by whatever is happening either in the global market, in the national market, or in the local market. And right now we have stuff going on in New York City with the governor, and the elections are coming up. Interest rates are high on the national level. And then the federal level, they're changing so many things in terms of policy and taxes and stuff. So these are all affecting how things are going to play out in 2025 in the local market. So unfortunately, I can't predict. I used to be able to predict things and be pretty good at it. Now I just, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. If things stay the same from now over the next 11 months, because we're in February, we should see more listings come to market in New York City. And the reason being is that people have been waiting to sell their home. Since COVID, they have been enjoying a low mortgage rate, and they had no reason to have to sell it and then have to get a new place and pay almost 7% in rates. So people have been sitting, but people want to move on with their lives, right? They have a life event, maybe a new job relocation opportunity, they're starting a family, they have another child coming, and they just need to move. So they don't want to wait anymore. So we're going to see a lot of homes come to market this year. So if you've been on the sidelines for the last couple of years, this is the year to find a lot more inventory and a lot more choices that you like. The other thing that I think will be a trend is that if mortgage rates continue to stay high, people just don't care anymore. If you look at back in the early 2000s, in the 1990s, rates were much higher. We're talking about 10, 12%. So we just got really spoiled with the 2 and 3% rates back like 2 or 3 years ago. The truth is 6 and 7% is really not that bad. We're just not used to it, especially millennials. They are so conditioned to having really rock bottom rates. But the truth is that we're going to see more inventory and more buyers coming into the market locally in New York City that want to buy again. So keep your eyes out. If you've been on the sidelines, this is the year to make a move for yourself. All right, so let's ask the next question. How do current market trends affect the future outlook for condo investments in this area? So we're currently in Kips Bay, which is in the heart of New York City, in the heart of Manhattan. And this area, if you were walking here, you would notice on the skyline, there is a bunch of cranes. If you walk the streets, there are a bunch of new shops and restaurants coming to the local area. What does that mean? That means that the makeup of the local area is changing. There are going to be new residential buildings, new commercial buildings, and new restaurants, which is going to change up the entire local makeup, which means as an investor, if you buy today in an up-and-coming area like this, you will see a change in the market, an improvement in the local area, and potentially an increase in property values. Also, you will see much more demand for rentals. So if you are like me that likes to buy investment properties, this area is one of the areas that's poised to grow a lot. In fact, I made a video about this on my channel about Kips Bay. So I highly recommend you take a look at that video, okay? All right, next question, and this is my last question of the day. What factors should prospective buyers consider regarding long-term value when purchasing a condo? So a few things here. This is a little bit of a more complicated question. First, look at the financials of the building. How is the building doing? Do they have a building reserve fund in case they have to make improvements in the building? How is the monthly maintenance? Are they going up and down, or is it staying pretty flat? If it's going up, why is it going up? Is the cost of maintaining the building going up? Is it labor? Is it materials? Is the building not being run well? Those are the kind of questions that I want to know. Does the building have any litigation going on? If there's any litigation, banks will not finance in the building. If there's too many rental units in the building, banks will not finance in the building. So you want to look at the building's health to determine if you want to even look at it from a long-term investment value. Now, yes, there are differences from layouts, one versus the other in the same building, whether you're on a higher floor or lower floor, you're in a corner unit, does it have outdoor space? These things matter, but number one is look at the health of the building. I was gonna do a deal in downtown Manhattan, in Lower East Side, and my client found a super cool loft And the market value should have been like $1.2 million. We were able to get it for $800,000. Guys, that's $300,000 lower than what the market value should have been. And we were really excited until we looked at the building's financials. They had all of this debt that they had to pay. They had to build their reserve fund because they were making renovations which didn't add any value to the residents or to the building. And you know what? They landed up having to charge $70,000 in assessments for one apartment. Imagine you're going to buy an apartment and the building is like, oh yeah, you want to buy here? You got to pay another $70,000. Guys, that's a cost of like 2 or 3 cars in order to just buy into the building. So obviously we didn't move forward. And so I always ask my clients, make sure that the health of the building is there. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed looking at this beautiful apartment 3G at 303 East 33rd Street. If you want to take a look at this unit, reach out to me. You can DM me and I'm happy to show it to you. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in another live event. Have a great day, guys. Bye.